Hello everyone, and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Dane Extra channel, or if you're listening on Cycling Dane podcast. And today we're looking at the Giro d'Italia 2024, and we're going to be ranking the teams on how they did during the race. And unfortunately, there's no Patrick today because he's down in London helping with the Ride London Classic. But with that out of the way, we're going to rank them from best team, legendary, very good, average, poor, and then the last category, were they even here? The first team we're going to look at is Baltico Meta, obviously the Pro Continental team coming in with ambitions. They got 2 top 3s and 8 top 8s. They weren't the lowest team in terms of the ranking on Pro Cycling Stats. They would have wanted a stage win out of this, but I'm going to say we saw them quite a lot up towards the front as well. Many breakaways they were in, so I think average is okay. No stage win, but still a top 15 in GC is not bad at all, considering also that they are a Pro Continental team. Next on our list is DSM-Firmenich, and obviously they were bringing their 2 big guns of Romain Bardet and Fabio Jakobsen, Tobias Lonen-Dreesen as well. He was on firing form with 3 stage wins in the Tour of Turkey, but they had a lot of bad luck in the first stage. Romain Bardet, it had an upset stomach, and that kind of hampered, lost time there. Managed to get back into it, was up there on a number of breakaway stages, and eventually managed to get a 9th place. Obviously, a 9th place with Romain Bardet is not where you want him. It was probably a podium they were looking more towards, and Fabio Jakobsen as well. But they were up there at the breakaways. They were very visible as a team, but Fabio Jakobsen leaving early, no stage wins, and I'm going to say poor because they were expecting a lot more out of this. And yeah, it was fine with that 9th place, but no stage victories. Yeah, they would have wanted more for sure. And I'm going to say poor, but let me know in the comments. I think it's bad luck. If we had a category for bad luck, this is where DSM would be put in for sure. Tobias Lonen-Dreesen and Fabio Jakobsen were caught up in crashes. That was the crash that ultimately took out Fabio Jakobsen. So I think they've had a very, very bad Giro, but with bad luck, not because of lack of trying. AG2R, or whatever we call them now, Decathlon AG2R is next. 4th place with Ben O'Connor. Very good result for him. And they also got stage wins, 2, one with Vendrame and one with Valentin Panenpantre. Yeah, this is a very good result, I think. They were up there. They were really showing themselves. They were bossing the GC battle as well. I think this team was very good. What would make them legendary? Maybe if Ben O'Connor got a stage victory, if he had a podium, that could have maybe been the difference for me. Next, we're coming to one of my favorite teams right now, with Giulio Pellizzari being the chief rider, you would say, the youngster, really stealing some of the pictures here in the final week. Pellizzari taking the Cima copy, remember that? The new Cima copy that was altered. But VF Group, I think they will be very happy with this. They didn't get a stage win, but Pellizzari came very close as he won. He didn't win, but he came second behind Tadej Pogačar, and are they even going to keep him? That's the good thing. That is the question. But I think we can't put them in average because they were really up there in all the breakaways and doing an incredible job. And Forelli as well, we haven't even talked about him. He was all over the Inter-Giro competition as well, and really present as a rider. So he was even in the points classification jersey early on. So I'm going to say very good. You can fight me for that. They didn't get the stage win, so maybe that should... but I don't know. I think they've had a very good Giro, not getting that big result, but getting a Cima copy and getting up there in an 18th place overall as well in the GC. Next, we come to Alpecin de Koning. Their team was very focused around Caden Groves getting a stage win. They had 6 top 3 finishes, 12 top 10s, 23rd, I think, with Nicola Conchi. I'm going to say they're quite disappointed about this. Obviously, Caden Groves, what can you do when you've got someone else like that? But they would have won a stage win, so I'm going to say poor from them. Next, we have another team that was very unlucky in this year's Giro d'Italia, Intermarché. Obviously, we saw Lilia Kamajan up there in the blue jersey early on. And in terms of the rankings, they're towards the bottom end. They had, one day in the blue jersey. They've had one top 3. They had 5 top 5s or top 10s. And obviously, the big story here is Binyam Girmay, who they centered most of the Giro d'Italia on, was the man who got that top 3 as well, but crashing out, having that absolutely incredibly unlucky day, crashing twice. So I almost want to say were they even here, but I'm gonna say poor. So poor for me. Next we have Groupama-FDJ. You remember what they did? Because I do not. They were Lorenzo Germani was up there in the Montegrappa stage early on with David Bellerini. They're the second worst performing teams in terms of pro cycling stats. 3 top 10s, and I'm gonna say were they even here? Because that not the greatest, I would say. Next we have Cofidis, obviously, and Simon Geschke, I think, stole a lot of the headlines for them. The blue jersey was on his shoulders for quite a bit of time, but courtesy of Tadej Pogačar, they took a stage win and as well with Benjamin Thomas. That was a really good result for him. So I'm going to say average, because the new Cofidis that we're used to now, that wins stages, I think it's fairly good. 4 teams as well in GC, so average. I'm going to say average for Cofidis, and me praising Cofidis. Sorry, Cofidis. I like your kit. It's very nice. Next, we come to Jayco AlUla, and they had Luke Plapp, they had Eddie Dunbar, they had Caleb Ewan. No Caleb Ewan victories. He was struggling a bit in this Giro d'Italia, which was a big shame. Eddie Dunbar crashing out. That was a big shame as well. Filippo Zana, the winner of the Tour of Slovenia, but 11th place overall. Not good for them. Getting one day in the white jersey. Luke Plapp was up there in the gravel stage, but not winning ultimately, and sailing out of the GC. I'm going to say poor on this, because they had such a talented squad, and not getting... They would probably have wanted at least a top 10 and maybe 2 stage wins. That would have been a really good Giro for them, but that didn't happen. Next, we come to one of the other pro-continental teams. Well, Jayco AlUla isn't pro-continental, but Tour Pro Cycling. And this is quite good, I think. They came with, obviously, they're a pseudo World Tour squad. Many of their riders have been on the World Tour, but still doing quite well with a 10th place for Michael Stora. That was quite unexpected, I think, for many people. And 11 top 10s, Matteo Trentin, part of that team, Alexander Kamp, but I would have wanted to see a bit more. A 10th place for a pro-continental team, I think that's pretty good, but it wasn't, it's fine. Like, it's possible. That's what we're going to call it. I think that average category should be changed. Are we going to change it to good? I don't know. Nevertheless, coming to our next team, Movistar. Movistar, obviously, we know they won the Giro d'Italia with Carapaz, etc. Nairo Quintana. But, Nairo Quintana returning here. He was the big draw. Obviously, Rubio as well. Peleo Sanchez. He was quite exciting after what he did at the Vuelta a España with BH Burgos last year. But stage victory on the gravel stage with Peleo Sanchez. Good result there. And Movistar was finishing 7th in GC for Rubio. That was really good, I think. I think the disappointing factor was Nairo Quintana. Not quite. He was up there in some of the stages. He was passed by Tadej Pogačar on one of the stages. I think it was stage 15. But Movistar, I think this is a good result. Stage win and I think we're going to change that category. Let's change it to good. We'll change it to good, because I think it's unfair to put it anything else. So good. We'll put it good. So good, poor, very good. You get the picture. Nevertheless, now coming to Soudal Quick-Step, Tim Merlier was the big draw. Obviously, Julian Philippe doing his first ever Giro d'Italia was a big, big narrative as well. And here I'm fairly impressed by them. 4-stage victories along the way. 8th place in the GC as well with Jan Hurt. So all round, really good. And I almost want to say legendary here, because taking stage victories in the sprint, taking stage victories on a breakaway as well. Julien Philippe getting that incredible win where he outdid Miestri. So all round, this team has really performed. Merli in the sprints, Alaphilippe being up there in the breakaways, really trying and getting that one-stage win as well. So maybe they would have wanted a jersey as well. Tim Merlier did wear the points classification jersey, but I'm going to say our first legendary team, because I'm impressed when a team can do multiple things and do them quite well. So fight me in the comments if you disagree. But next we come to Visma-Lease bike, and this is the highs and the lows of bike racing. Last year winning with the Giro with Primoz Roglic, but this year the team decimated. Olaf Koy out. We had Robert Hessing out early on as well. Kian Autobrooks out. Yeah, just half the team dismantled, which was a bit of a shame. But still getting a stage victory though, and not finishing towards the bottom half of the result is pretty impressive still. 22nd in GC. 1 stage win with Olaf Koy, and still kind of being up there. And I'm going to say, I don't know, I want to say good / average. Satisfied, that is the category. That is the category we're missing. Yeah, I think Visma-Lease bike, given all the circumstances, are satisfied with that result. Actually, I want to put Movistar one up, because we've changed the categories now. I think we'll put it down. Movistar. Okay, let's put Movistar up there and then VF Group down there. There we go. I think that's better. Nonetheless, with that out of the way, we move on to Astana Kazakhstan team. Oh, I just saw the GC. Yeah, what a shame. They were going for that 12th. Well, 12th is what they got in GC with Lorenzo Fortunato. It looked like he was going to be on for a top 10. Obviously, Astana Kazakhstan team, they need a lot of World Tour points. They're struggling at the minute with relegation threat. Alexei Lutsenko was sent here. Looked like he was going to be up there in the top 10, but illnesses meant he had to pull out. So, yeah, this team, 10 top 10s, 12th place. I think they're not going to be satisfied with this. I think poor, because they wanted a top 10 and they didn't get it. They didn't even get a stage win. So Astana, despite being up there, I think it's poor, unfortunately, because that top 10 would have made it satisfied. Next, we move on to Bahrain Victorious. Obviously, Antonio Tiberi was announced as their leader at the beginning of it, and that was quite a surprise when you have Damiano Caruso, who finished 4th place the year before. Nonetheless, Bahrain doing quite well, 5th place overall. That's a great result, winning the white jersey as well. And yeah, what more can you say? I think this is very good. I think Bahrain Victorious with Tiberi, no stage wins, but he was up there in GC. They've really got a guy on their hands here who can be up there challenging. So I'm going to say very good for Bahrain Victorious. Next, moving on to Lidl-Trek, obviously coming with Jonathan Milan-led super team. Getting 3-stage victory. Juan Pedro Lopez in there as well, but that was a bit, bonus in a way, not quite achieving what he would do. But the lead out was incredible. So I'm going to say very good from Lidl-Trek. I was really impressed by them. Not taking all the stage victories that you would have thought, but 3-stage victories with Milan, still incredible, and taking the points classification jersey as well. So very good. What would put them up at legendary? I would think like 5 stages instead of 3. Still a really good performance by Lidl-Trek and Jonathan Milan. Super, an animal on the bike. Next we have Israel Premier Tech, and they one of the teams that were a bit decimated, and I can't remember seeing them too many times. So I'm going to say, were they even here? I would have wanted to see Stephen Williams in the team, but they didn't send him. But a lot of injury and bad luck kind of messed it up for them. They did get 4 top 10s, but yeah, nothing as electric as we've seen in the past from them. Next, coming to INEOS Grenadiers, and INEOS Grenadiers, obviously, a very good team, you have to say, and finishing with Geraint Thomas third place. I think that was quite an expected result for many people. Wearing the Maglia Rosa early on as well with Narvaez, who took stage 1. They also got a stage victory with Ghana. Ghana coming close to taking 2 stage victories, obviously being denied that one time trial by a certain someone, but taking a stage victory nonetheless. 2 stage victories, a third place overall. I think this is very expected from them, really. So, second place last year. I'm going to say very good because all round it was a good team performance and they were up there controlling things as well. Arkéa Samsic, oh my goodness. No, just, yeah, no words. They're last in the pro cycling bottom rankings. Were they even here? Next we have EF Education Easy Post, stage victory with Georg Steinhauser, who was really incredible, the 22-year-old German in the final week. I think they will be satisfied with this. A new kit wasn't great. It was a bit, I preferred their normal kit to what the new kit actually was for the Giro d'Italia. But yeah, they were up there in breakaways. Great to see Velgren up in a Giro d'Italia as well. Chavez was a bit underperforming. You would have wanted to see him try and go for the GC, but Chavez isn't the normal or the old Chavez, so that was a bit of a shame. But Miguel Honorea was up there towards the front in some stages as well. So they were really visible in the breakaways, but just not getting that big result other than the Georg Steinhauser. And I think the Georg Steinhauser victory takes them up to satisfied. If it wasn't for his victory, I think they would have been in pole. Well, were they even here is a bit harsh, but they are a World Tour team and they have performed so well in the past. Now we come to Bora-Hansgrohe, and this team, I think very good. Given, I almost want to say legendary, because given how much bad luck they had early on with Lipovic crashing out, etc., and Danny Martinez not really having the best mountain support, I almost want to give them legendary. But because he didn't have the best mountain support, I'm going to give it very good. But legendary for Danny Martinez. Danny Martinez second place. That's an incredible result, beating out Geraint Thomas, who he used to ride for in some races. So a great result for Bora-Hansgrohe getting that. You can't say any more than that. No stage victory, so maybe that would have put them up to legendary. They didn't quite get the sprint campaign that they would have wanted, but Bora-Hansgrohe, incredible. And now we come to the last team. Obviously, we just put them in legendary, 6 stage victories, the Maglia Rosa, all that, and just incredible. 19 days in the Maglia Rosa as well. I just think it's incredible what Tadej Pogačar and UAE. We thought maybe their team would be a bit weak compared to some of the other GC teams. Maybe at times, yes, but I still think they did a phenomenal result to keep everyone in check. Tadej Pogačar did what he did. I think they won the blue jersey as well. So just legendary. But I still would have wanted to see Brendan Minotti instead of Milano in here. I have no idea why Milano was in here, and I will continue to say that. So UAE did what expected, almost winning by 10 minutes as well. Just absolutely incredible result from them. But that is basically it for this ranking. I think my most surprising team of this year's Giro d'Italia, AG2R maybe? No, AG2R, many people were expecting good things from. VF Group, I think VF Group was quite, with Belazari, that was absolutely incredible, to say the least. Most disappointing team, I don't know. It's a hard one to say. There's a big category of that, but I think Visma-Lease bike would be a bit disappointed after. We could have had a really good battle with Autobrooks and Tiberi, but it wasn't meant to be. And also, INEOS Grenadiers, we got to say that I had Arnsman up there in the GC. So, great team by INEOS Grenadiers. But that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel here on the Cycling Dane Extra. And why not check out the video I did of how Tadej Pogačar won the Giro d'Italia this year. But with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.